Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Tony's Pizza here in Hagerstown, Maryland. We are live this evening for a second edition of WCFF Live, Washington County Flag Football Live. I am your host, Joey Bassford. Joining us tonight will be from the program, Cortez Boyce, and from Broad Axe, Tyler Spencer. It was the first week of a long season up ahead, and here in WCFFL. We have 5 games, and joining me now will be the 2 men who will sit down and discuss this week's games with me. Gentlemen, good evening.
How you doing, sir?
Good, good. How are you doing? First game of the season. Any soreness, injury, anything like that? How you guys feeling about it?
I'm feeling sore. I'm feeling good.
Feeling sore, feeling good? Okay. We'll start with a recap of the action. The first game was TNT and Top Gun. The game's final score was 21-7 in favor of Too Much Talent. TNT's defensive line overall was the story. They dominated Top Gun's offensive line. Top Gun's biggest issue came from the start of each play where the ball just couldn't get to the quarterback, Ricky Miller. Low snaps, almost every play killed him. TNT moved the ball very well, but Top Gun's defense buckled down when needed, holding them down to 19 less points than they scored last season, and it was a 40-0 blowout. But in the end of the day, TNT still 1-0. Top Gun falls to 0-1. Your guys' thoughts?
Good.
Expected that to happen. I know Top Gun got a few more players, but what I've seen, they pretty much look like they're the same team going in from last year. And I don't see them beating TNT yet. That's what happened.
All right, Tyler?
I thought it was a pretty good game. Top Gun definitely came out and did what I expected them to do. They put up a fight. TNT, not gonna lie, didn't look quite as impressive last year. I mean, as they did last year. They definitely had some good spurts. They definitely still have athletes. They have a seasoned quarterback. They've got good guys across the board, but I wouldn't say it's the fact that they're missing damn Dame, but the team just doesn't seem, as vicious as it did. They got a few lucky plays downfield with a nice lateral action that definitely helped boost them over. But overall, I saw them have a terrible possession in the red zone where they went 3 plays from like 5 yards out and didn't get anything. So I'm wondering how they're going to do against the top tier teams. But overall, I think both teams had a good first week.
Okay.
And, oh man, that comment didn't age well. Tyler, you got a little off there. A lot of us were wondering back in 2017 where we all be years from now. We were all wondering about our futures and lives, but we were living every single day in the moment. We saw the growth of 9-man in our area, the prosperity of the 4th state becoming what it was, just like it did in 2017. Y'all remember Marty Snook Park? That's where it all happened. Yours is that? You got to go back to 5 years ago. That's fall of 2016. 5 years now since that fall of 16. You sit back, you ask me, Joey Blaze, what was so important about the fall of 2016? Because to some of us, we don't remember anything from back then. That's a long time ago. Trust me, I don't work the same career as I do now. Life was a lot different for Joey Bassford in 2016. I was on the West Virginia Ducks playing defensive line, trying to make a comeback. I wanted to be one of the greatest players in Washington County history. I dreamed of playing on the A circuit, had all these aspirations and goals, and wanted to help grow the Ducks to become one of the best circuit teams in the country. I always said we were like the West Virginia version of Main Event in some ways. And then that fall of 16 happened. And I remember this fateful season when Dirt Boy came onto the field for the Red Knights for the first time and brought a new attitude to the league that had been lacking for a long time. Something that rejuvenated this area, something that grew this league. When I came back to the 9-man in 2014, when I came up to Marty Snook Park that September morning, September 6, 2014, 7 years this weekend. God. My 7-year anniversary is coming up, Rosser.
Oh shit.
I know. I've been doing this for far too long.
Oh shit.
You know, I was supposed to be done after the first season.
7 years.
Yeah, I was supposed to be done after the first season, though. That's supposed to be it. I wasn't supposed to go beyond being the cameraman for Survivors until I was called to be offensive coordinator, until I was called to be the head coach, until I was demoted to offensive coordinator, until I was demoted to cameraman, and then rehired as head coach, and then demoted again, and then rehired again,
Dang.
all in the first 10 games.
Oh shit.
We were 0-11 that year.
You made it sound like that was
Yeah, I
like
know,
a 5 year span.
Nah, man. It felt like a 5-year span.
That was on the first day.
I often joke my punishment for the whole Fredericktown Mall escapade was you had to spend a 3-month prison sentence trying to coach a flag football team that knew nothing about flag football. Neither did I. I knew nothing. The Survivors, though, that's a journey. That's another story for another day. Because not for Survivors.
What day?
Oh, this day. Because you know why? Why are you talking about Survivors and Ducks to open up this blood talk? Hold on, Joey Blaze. This is 2021. Who cares about them bum ass teams? You're saying. Some of you at home are being like, "Yeah, I played for Survivors. Yeah, I played for Ducks." You know who I saw last season? Bo. I hope Bo's back on Venom this year. Speaking of this, look at this jersey display tonight. We got 8. You got 8 of the KFFL coming up. But if not for that fall of 2016, where would the KFFL even be? If not for Survivors and Ducks playing one fall afternoon. And we were sacking Daniel Taylor 9 times in the first half. I broke through the line. I knocked Buckley on his ass.
Oh shit.
I was showing the whole Survivors line why I was their daddy.
Oh shit.
Daniel had nothing. He had nothing. He's hurt, to be fair. He had a bad knee, and he did try to play. Shout out to him. He was always one of the tougher guys out there. He took a lot of hits.
I remember the Warriors.
He was one of those guys who he would come out there and tough it out. No
Yeah,
matter
he
what.
was definitely. I remember I threw a couple of elbows, shoulders into him back in my day.
Yeah.
Survivors, Warriors.
Yeah, you're a dick.
Yeah, I think
Is what it is, what it is. But you sit back and you think about it. Daniel gets hurt, and in comes this guy. This guy in a pink hoodie.
Oh shit.
Looks kind of like that Nintendo character from the 80s. That punch out, yeah, punch out, yeah. He's got no punch out jacket on. I never seen this guy before. And I'm sitting there, I'm rushing on the D line, and you knew that I was on a very stacked Ducks defensive line. We had 9 of the top 20 linemen in the league at the time, and I was the 9th one. Because sometimes you can't be the best, but you could be the worst on the best. And that's not a bad place at all to be sometimes. Because in games like that, you get playing time. And so I came in, I go after that guy, I'm about to run right at him. He makes one step, he gone. I hear from the sidelines, Danny Longer being yelling at me, "Joey, come out!" Because they knew I was slow. I was slow. I was fat. I was old. I was working my ass off 70 hours a week, running the department at a grocery store that I hated. As CJ Williams ran in the touchdown for Survivors, led to a comeback victory over the West Virginia Ducks. Washington County and the 4th state changed forever. TJ that season, that fall of 16, people forget, he had the Survivors on a roll. They were competitive. They almost knocked off Ruckus, X-Dogs, and the program that season. TJ was a big factor in that. And that season, TJ created a nucleus that he built up. That nucleus came in that fall of 16 to the Mason-Dixon Classic as too much talent. And that day, the 4th state learned who Damian Keystone was. And then that next season, TNT came to the Washington County Flag Football League. TMT, too much talent. TMT came in, brought in this little guy, little short dude. Yeah, we thought he's kind of like Mac in a way. Yeah, he's kind of like Mac, And I remember he finished 3rd place and best running back in the league behind Damian Coates and McKinley White in 2017, his rookie season. That man was named Cannon Hall. And then the next season, Chris Boone, who once ventured up north to play wide receiver for the Mack Truck Bulldogs and the Washington County Flag Football League. And incidentally enough, the same season in which my dad played his final year. Chris Boone came up. He played wide receiver in 04. He didn't like it. He had a block. He didn't like the block. Boone didn't like the block. Boone likes to throw. Boone likes to run. Boone likes to embarrass DBs.
Boone's a great linebacker too, but blocking Boone.
And remember, we saw that footage earlier. Chris Boone's debut in the Washington County Flag Football League, fall 2017, against Top Gun. TMT got the win, even though Tyler, Cortez, and I weren't really that impressed that day. And then that fall 17, it all took off. We forget about AFN, the Red Knights split of that 2017. Remember, Lurie came in at 16. They all went to nationals that fall, or summer, or winter rather. January 17, the Red Knights Nationals run.
Yeah.
The only Washington County team to ever get to a national championship game.
Yeah. Facts.
And then the next season, the Knights TMT beef started. Knights split off, formed AFN, TMT, and Mayhem set the world on fire that next spring. We rode the momentum into the fall, the next year, and the year after. And then came along Keystone along the way.
Keystone.
While we were sitting there having the time of our lives, playing the best ball, who can forget where Washington County was in the spring of 2018? Fast times at South High. Hell, look at last year. Funny how things are a year from now. 1 year later, we're spending our Saturdays in Shippensburg. And this is the first time for me ever for 9-man. I grew up in Marty Snook for a little bit. I'm not going to claim to be one of those guys who was a day one guy. I'm not like Tyler and Trey, who were born and raised on that playground. I was there for a bit. I had time there. I got to have that experience. I didn't get it for long. I wish I had more time up there looking back, especially knowing we're not going to be there this fall. But you know what? Fuck it. It's football season. It's fall, y'all. Fall 2021 season. You look back at how much has changed, how much has evolved, how much has grown, where we were then, where we are now, and where we could be. Ross Collins, you ever thought you and I would be calling nationals in 2021?
Hell no.
And ever saw the guys that we watched grow around us end up on the A circuit, finishing in the Final Four at major tournaments, going up to GCFFA and smacking around the Reapers? Misfits. What about the Killer Bees? Oh, yeah. X-Dogs. You can never forget the X-Dogs. My God. They have never missed. Here's a stat for you. The X-Dogs have never missed a semifinal in any league. They have made a semifinal every season in every league they've been in. Since 2002 in the original Shippensburg League. When they came up 20 years ago, and now here we are 20 years later, Shippensburg is back on Saturdays. X-Dogs are home for the fall. For the first time since 2007, 2006, they will not be in Washington County. But for the first time since 1969, the year my dad was born, the year George Nunn was born, the year Kenny Diener was born, 1969, there will not be a Washington County Flag Football League in the fall. It happens. It happened. Honestly, I think it's something better for all parties. I like what we had in Shippensburg the last few years. Shippensburg's been fun. We got a little more freedom. We got a little more space. I like the facility. It's nice to have that caged-in fence. It's a little bit of a drive, don't get me wrong, but sometimes I'd rather just go out somewhere on a Saturday, somewhere different in my own hometown.
I'm not sure about the free party, but
I don't know, bro. It's very, very, very laid back. There's a lot of space to just, chill. Whereas with Marty, we had a pavilion next to the field. Their pavilion's way down, and most of the park stuff's way on the other side. So we kind of have more privacy, which I always said, when you want to run a league, you want something where it's a little bit private so you can do your own thing. You don't want to intermingle with other people just walking around, trying to do family picnics, trying to do gatherings. I get that. Damn. I miss Marty Slip this fucking fall. Keystone this fall, though. Even better. Shout out bartender for the drink. My God. What do we got? 10 teams? We got 8 represented tonight. And it's probably the strangest combination of teams I've ever seen in the league in my life. Where's Ruckus? Where's Broadaxe? Where's the program? Where's the Warriors? Hold on. A year ago this fall, your 10 teams in Washington County were Showtime. They're not here. Misfits. They're back. And they're better than ever. And they have a knack for making things better. Face facts. Because your opinion don't matter. They're going to step on any team that gets in their path. This is a force to be reckoned with. You go further down the list of teams. Tri-State Spartans. Can't forget about them. They're back. That's at least 2 teams back so far. Food line. Jeez. They're too young for that, Ross, these days. These kids don't know that reference. That's before a lot of these people's times. We're going way back. And we got Miller Lite still sitting here. Jeez. You go back even further, you know. X-Dogs. They're here. We got 3 so far. But then you think about it. Warriors, Ruckus, program. Gone. What a weird Broadaxe not here. Pure Chaos is still alive, though. I would have told you, you know, Pure Chaos will field a team this fall and that Ruckus, Warriors, Broadaxe, the program wouldn't. Would you believe me a year ago?
No.
And now think of it this way. We got a lot of interesting scenarios now in Keystone. We're going to finally get a Pure Chaos versus Killer Bees game. A lot of us thought this wasn't going to happen a long time ago. Because we always said that Pure Chaos was just basically the Killer Bees A team. Yeah, I think I meant to do that and forgot about it. That's what I wanted to do. That was an aesthetic I wanted to do. But then I think I blanked on it and forgot. Thanks for reminding me, though. I won't do it now, though. We're moving on. Continuing with it, though. I know. I appreciate you there, Ross Collins. But we got a bunch of randoms. Like a long time ago, I was in a fantasy football league. Shout out Brad Reynolds, Murphy Daly. Won a bunch of randoms. Landon Ashbrook, Milky, all you guys. Xbox crew. Hope you all doing well. This is a league of randoms in general, though. This is a really random league when you think of the teams in here now. We thought last year was kind of weird. Last season was interesting. Now we got more coming in. Coming back from last season, Killer Bees. This is, I believe, will be their 7th KFFL season. 2 championships, fall 18, spring 21, runner-up in fall 19, runner-up last year, TBT, beat down 40-14. Shout out TBT. Greatest dynasty in Keystone, regardless of what happens ever, in my opinion. But you think about it, you look at it. Killer Bees. Is this the same Killer Bees? What do they got? Are we going to see what do they have? Like, there's no way this is the same Killer Bee squad we had last year. They definitely don't got the Misfit guys, nor the Demon guys, nor the Warrior guys. They don't have any of those guys, nor the Ruckus guys. Maybe they do. I don't know. What does the Bees got? Every week I see like a post, like at the job opening, that you can apply to be a Killer Bee. If you want to put your application in, Ross, hit up Eric Carty. Did you? Oh, man. Come on, man.
Remember? I said I need that beer and meal deal.
That's crazy.
Play D-line.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
I think it's the only D-line thing.
Man, you're top 5 lineman in the city of Sharpsburg. What?
City of Sharpsburg. At least top 10.
Top 10?
Yeah.
I called you top 5. What the hell?
Yeah.
I was trying to give you more praise. Damn, you down on yourself now. You depressed or something? Take a hit. You used to be more lively. What happened to you? What's wrong? You need to sit down on the couch, lay down, and I'll talk to you in a chair.
Nah.
Nah,
Hell no.
no. Okay, I just want to make sure. I'll make sure you're okay, man. You're my bro. But you see, you think about it, killer bees. I don't even know, man. I'm gonna say that I have a statement I want to make on the killer bees last season. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see come close to the season. Because I don't know what they got. We'll see. You look down the list, X-Dogs are back. They have had a great run in KFFL. I believe this will be their 4th season in the league and their first time playing in the fall in KFFL. Champions in spring 18, they beat Ship Flip Gators. Champions spring 19, they beat the Immortals. Runners up last season to the Killer Bees. We know what they got, and we'll see what they bring. Not much to really say on dogs because it's the X-Dogs.
I've heard a couple things.
Have you?
I've heard a couple things.
Never stop recruiting, man.
It'll be the X-Dogs, or the X-Dogs.
Yep. The old principle. Remember, they have never missed a semifinal.
Yeah.
They're always going to be Final Four every year.
Write that down.
Yeah. Don't doubt Matt Eisenberg in November.
Write that down.
He's a whole other monster come postseason. You think down the list, Tri-State Spartans, they've had some issues in the offseason. They had a very thin squad in Ocean City. Maybe now that there's some possible talent out there, you might see a different team. I don't know what to expect. Their Charm City team was very, very light. And I am not entirely certain what's going to happen there. I wish them the best, though. Tri-State should be in a better place than what they are. This is a team that got better, and it's a shame to see a team get better and yet lose out because of losing. And I get it, losing hurts, and after a while, it could burn out people. But to me, like, you got to just push through, man. I don't know. We'll see what happens with the Spartans. Prime time, they're back this season. Ryan Jones and company, they're ready to rock and roll. Looking forward to seeing them out there. They were a surprise semifinalists last season. They got a win over the Reckless Villains in the semis. Or the wild card, rather, before falling to the X-Dogs in the semifinal. So really looking forward to seeing what Primetime can do this season. This is a team that had potential last season, a lot of close games, a lot of close losses, just unable, however, to get over the hump. And I'm really hoping this time around we see a better squad. We know they're going to be in Clash of York as well. So looking forward to seeing how this team grows as they get ready for year 2 of being a franchise. Excuse me, guys. This weather's rough. Yeah, this is not my favorite time when the weather just shifts like this. Because I can't bear it sometimes. It was very hot in New York the other day. I'm still feeling that. Like that humidity was just stupid. So if I'm golfing a little bit tonight, it's no cause for concern. I'm a negative test. It's a lot of allergies, probably a sinus infection at this point. That heat was so bad, and I don't know what happened. As soon as I walked into the York air, I just died. It was rough. So we'll see how it goes. If I lose my voice, I apologize. I might have to tone it down a little bit for my own protection. So, yeah, prime time. Looking forward to seeing how they do. Other teams on there as well. West Virginia Venom. I liked what I saw last season out of them. Johnny Cocho and company. They're in their first season, or first year rather. Last season was their first season. They were out of the first round, but played the Killer Bees extremely close. And I mean extremely close. In that playoff game, they fell 7-0. Just couldn't get anything going on offense, but defense was on point. They held Tay, Lurie, and company to 7. Got to give a shout out to Venom. They show a lot of potential this season. I look forward to seeing what that team has. Also on there from last season, Outlaws are back. They had a rough first year. They still haven't gotten a win yet. They've been trying other styles. We saw them at Just Win Bigs a few weeks ago. They did really well. Yeah, kind of. All things considered, for a first time, they played FAA pretty well. Like FAA had a little more experience in that 5-man big man game, considering a few of those guys were TBBT guys. But Outlaws played pretty well in that game. They're trying to get somewhere in 9-man. There's a lot of talent out there, man. Like I told y'all last season, recruit. You got to bring Andy Hoffman in as quarterback. Andy Hoffman has to quarterback the Outlaws. It's in his blood. His dad quarterbacked the Outlaws back in the day. If his dad did it, so can he. This is the same. It's a prophecy. It can happen. I'm telling you, Andy to the Outlaws. Make it happen. Outlaws, but to reach out there, sign Andy Hoffman. I like it. Other teams along the way. You look at it, and I'm using the board as a reference. Pure Chaos. Pure Chaos could have snuck into the semis at County last season, but due to lack of back judge in the backfield, nobody blew the play dead when Cody dropped the ball. And actually, Cody saved the day. If not for Cody, they didn't win that game. But Ruckus got the win instead. Chaos played them tough. Chaos has gotten better, though. They're nowhere near as bad as they were last year. Even then, I didn't think they were bad last year. They were competitive. People were ragging on Pure Chaos, but Pure Chaos for a first-year team was actually putting up a fight every week. Like, most first-year teams we see don't do well. But Chaos, I thought, did a lot better than what people expected them to do. And last season in Washington County, you know, maybe one win against UNR, but they played Spartans tough. They played Ruckus tough. They gave some fits to Broadaxe. We'll see what Pure Chaos can do in the KFFL. We'll see what the change of scenery does for this team. Let's see how it goes. Also on the fray, we got the Demons. Remember the Demons? We saw them at the 4-state fours. New Year's Invitational Tournament. Ross Collins, you remember that. You were on the field for that cold January day when the Demons beat the Outlaws in the Ruckus for the championship.
Yeah.
What were your impressions of the Demon squad that day?
Sean Parker, QB.
Dude, oh my God. He looks like he's been playing for 10 years. I've never seen a man just grasp an offense just straight up like that.
Yeah.
And you think about it, that Ruckus defense was not a regular Ruckus defense. Like, that was a Misfits Ruckus Killer Bees hybrid. Like, they had a lot of Misfit guys. They had some Warriors. They had some Ruckus guys. Like I say, a lot. Well, yeah, kind of a lot, because everybody plays with them, sort of. But they had a pretty good team. And Demons, with only 14 guys, beat them 28-6. Sean Parker, a big part of that. But that defense held Ruckus to 6. But, you know, I really think if he could get at least twice the amount of guys they had, but at least someone to say caliber of talent they got, that team could be a force to be reckoned with. They're going to be really tested week 1 with the Misfits. We'll get to the scheduling in a moment. We're not going to do any predictions or interviews tonight. Tonight's going to be focused on previewing KFFL, and we're going to do some call-outs to the other 2 leagues in the area as well. Also joining the foray this season, Wolverines. The Wolverines are here? Jamie Lagana's coming to Keystone? York is just invading the 4-state now. York is coming over. They want the smoke. I think they're tired of us talking shit to them. York, I'm telling you guys, come out. I get the feeling, though, with both Wolverines and Primetime, you're going to see a lot of YAFFL talent coming over. I think you'll see the best of that area come over to play. I think it's going to be really interesting time to see the Wolverines. I don't believe that Jamie's going to have his full squad, mostly because they kind of had about maybe 15 at their last tournament. I don't think they're going to have that. I think he's going to bring something a little more akin to what Primetime tried to do. There's your guys that work together. You got to keep an eye on that. But who are they going to bring in? This is as long as it's not Austin Falkenroth. I wouldn't do that. That'd be a bad move. Don't do that, Jimmy.
What? I got a feeling he'll be there.
He says he'll never play 9-man again. We ended his career. We killed 3 careers, Ross. We killed your career. We killed my cousin's career. We killed Austin Falkenroth's career. TBT was some career killers and dream breakers. Hey man, the club. At the end, like when we won the championship, I just imagine like all 3 of you appearing as like Sith ghosts. like from the end of Star Wars Episode 6. They don't, yeah, you know, at the end of Star Wars. Anyways, I won't move on for that. Wolverines, I don't know what they're going to have, man. York's going to just, it's York. They got 700 players. They might throw John Uri out there. Watch out for Patrick Crawford. I hear he's around. Pat Crawford sneaky. You got to watch him on the field. He'll go out there and he'll just sneak up on you, catch balls, throw a pass. He had a 75-yard touchdown on me in Immortals a while back. Keep an eye on a lot of talent. Bob Moore. I think Bob Moore might pop up. I think you'll see Champ play on primetime again. Like, I think, and it's not even that primetime was bad. Primetime's problem was like they just couldn't finish most weeks. And it's hard to finish, especially when you're learning as a team. Once they overcome that, they'll get somewhere. Moving on, looking ahead, other teams. Who else do we got? I'm trying to think. I'm gonna get the schedule, see if I missed anybody. All right, I may not have. Yeah, I think we got it. All right, cool. Sweet. Let me pull up the schedule. Let's look at the 2021 schedule.
Yeah, there you go.
So Wolverines got by, Primetime X-Dogs, Primetime Demons. I wonder how many people were like, Joey, you're silent, and I'm just not reading it because I'm looking at my screen. I pulled a workhorse there. If you're talking, we can't hear you. Thank you. Shout out. Yeah, I'm dumb. I gotta pay attention better. Yeesh. I pulled a workhorse media there. Feel bad about that. That's what I get. That's like karma for me for that. Take a look at it. The Primetime X-Dogs. Let's start over again. Wolverines got to buy. Yeah. We'll see how they do. Jamie Logano could be a chance to scout. They're gonna be good. Gonna be interesting. See how they do. Primetime X-Dogs after that. Primetime gonna be a good game. They played X-Dogs tough last season. Right out the gate, you got a really good first game for the season. I hate making mistakes like that. I'll kick myself in the morning for that. Lost sound. Yeah, I can't hear you anymore. Oh my god. Sheesh. Yeah, I ain't gonna make any jokes about workhorse anymore. Yeesh. That was my own stupidity. I muted myself that time. Let's get back to the topic.
It'd be like that.
We've done worse.
Basically, to recap what we covered, were
Yeah, so Primetime is going to be a team to look out for to start the season. They're going to bring like the whole.
That's a tough draw for them.
Yeah, it is a tough draw. Don't get me wrong. You get X-Dogs and Demons. Your baptism is in fire, and
that's why Primetime is not capital P.
Yeah, that's interesting. Why are they lowercase p? Stop being a bully.
Nobody knows.
Stop being a bully. You're being a bully. Ross is the biggest hater in the fourth state. Y'all know this. Ruckus knows it. Broadax knows it. Every team that plays against Ross ever knows the biggest hater in this area.
I'm just saying, man.
It's facts. All facts. You are a damn hater, bro.
Well, here's the thing, Jay. So I'll give you the benefit of the doubt, right? You started off
all right
in Capital, so you did the buy Wolverines, Primetime versus Capital X-Dogs.
All right, let's keep going.
You have Primetime versus
anyways,
Primetime
and Demons. All right.
Disrespect, Primetime.
Yeah.
Disrespect.
If you're okay, I get what you're saying.
Lakers.
You're supposed to. Not the Lakers, man. Are they signing? I don't know. They're signing all kinds of York talents, so they might as well. Let's talk about York. Like Primetime and Wolverines, the two of them could pull from 700 different players in the YAFL community. York itself is like vastly loaded with talent, and I feel like if both teams can maximize the resources they have in York and find some more guys across the way, they definitely have a chance to do something there.
I'm not gonna say it's untapped. No.
It's not untapped. Don't get me wrong. Baez Auto runs York, in my opinion. Zombies might say otherwise when it comes to York style, but if we're going to talk 9-man, it's Baez.
Yeah.
Gusto may have put up a challenge, but they haven't quite met that mark yet. Primetime's trying to get up there. Impact tried and failed hard. Appleby, they tried, but they at least beat Impact. And now Wolverines are going to give a shot.
Wolverines coming in. Misfits tapped into that talent.
Misfits are going to what? Yeah, Mr. Santez's out. Oh my God. You forget those DC Baltimore guys don't have a Saturday league for 9-man.
Right.
And I think Reed's going to pull a lot of those guys from around that area to come play. And, everybody wants to play. Nobody's trying to miss a day of work on Saturday or Sunday. We're in this time period now where everybody wants to play as many games as possible on the weekend. They don't care about going out for one day, playing about 15 minutes on the field and then going home and going to bed. They want to make the most of it.
Right.
There's going to be a lot of talent to bring in. But you take a look at it. Primetime Wolverines from York, they got a lot of teams, the guys they can work with. I really look forward to seeing what happens as the season goes on with this. Sorry, my throat's getting a little dry. With these teams. Demons, of course, we saw what they could do last year in the 4-state fours. Well, it feels like last year. January feels like 10 years ago now. They had a limit, like I said, low amount of numbers in that tournament. They're going to have way more. Like I said, this is new cram. This is a different kind of program coming. I think it's a better kind of cram. There's a lot more terpenes in it. Like, it's going to mess you up. The THC levels are higher than ever. The cram is back together. And I think a lot of the guys on there are coming into this season looking to make a statement. Especially when they play Misfits at 11:10. Game of the week. Game of the week. People will say, well, wait a minute. How's this team with only 2 games in their resume to game against the Misfits? The number 9 team in the country right now. How? I'll tell you how. This Demons team, I think, will have the guys to compete. I think this will be a competitive game. It depends what we see from the Misfits. Or we're going to get the Tay Sosa Misfits, or we're going to get the Chris Boone Misfits. Like, what are we going to get? Because you and I both know John Regan's going to come out there, never with the same team as last season fully, but he's going to always have the same core guys. You're going to see Tay out there. You'll see Black out there. You'll see Jay Black out there. Tyler will be out there. A lot of his core guys will be out there working. Alex Norton's going to be there. Lurie. There's a lot he's going to bring. And, of course, he's got OMFFL and Maffle down there. Those guys, they don't play Saturdays. They're going to want to come out and do something. And he's got more to pull from. I think it's going to be a fun season with the Misfits up here on Saturdays, especially because KFFL being the only Saturday 9-man league right now, they have a lot of open access for different players just come in. We saw what happened last season in county, how off the rails it got in terms of the talent and the load that we saw in Marty Snook Park last fall, the greatest Washington County flag football season. This might be the greatest Keystone flag football league season with the talent we could see. Outlaws, man, we're going to have the Outlaws play the Misfits in their first game out the gate. I'm getting 80-yard Doom Squad flashbacks. Oh, that's not helpful, man. That's definitely baptism by fire for this team.
No.
You think the Outlaws can hang?
No, I wouldn't say that, but I don't think it's baptism by fire or even Doom Squad versus AJR because Outlaws played in the league. Right?
I know it's a little different, but it's like, to me, it's that kind of matchup where it's like, I feel like, but you can't control the schedule no matter what. Somebody's going to draw somebody, but you got to feel bad for the Outlaws at the game with Misfits. You want to get some kind of money to start the season. This is the game where if they can get, okay, let's spin it differently. Let's give a positive spin. I'm being negative Nancy right now. I'm being a crybaby. I'm whining. I'm being mopey. Let's look on the bright side of life. Because you always got to look on the bright side of life. For the Outlaws, what if they win this game? What if they play them tough? What if the first play of the game, they come out and throw a touchdown? You got to sometimes like, you got to make the best of the bad circumstances. And I think this Outlaws team, I don't think they will be. I think Misfits will come in. They're going to play enough to win. They're not going to. You may not see like an ADR 50-0 blowout like years ago, but you'll see a team go out there. They're gonna just do enough to be good for next week and just be good to go. But Outlaws, this game can make or break them. Like you got to fight and persevere, but this is gonna be a tough game against a Misfits team that is well battle tested by now. Tough first draw. Spartans Killer Bees.
Outlaws on the free agent D lineman.
There you go. Sign Ross Collins.
To possibly bring other talent to.
You got players? What you got? Wes? You bring your brother back?
Yeah.
You bring Keith back?
After a fucking 5-year hiatus. Yep, I'm bringing my brother back.
Yeah, brother, so he can yell insults at me from the sidelines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Literally just for that reason. That's the only reason I'm bringing him back.
You gonna bring Keith back too?
If you want to.
There you go. Keith Cameron, Wes Collins, come on back to the Outlaws.
He's a great lineman.
I think that should be a package deal. You, Keith Cameron, Wes Collins, Andy Hoffman, all to the Outlaws. Outlaws gotta make that happen. Spartans Killer Bees. I'm gonna kick myself for this episode later. I gotta edit this. What?
I was good with the package deal too. A couple things there, but I have a package deal.
You're a whore, Ross. Anyways, Spartans Bees, aka how many times have these guys played each other since like COVID started? Wasn't it like every Saturday for like 2 months straight they played each other?
Yes, it was.
This is like this is like a weird rivalry, like when you think about it. And every matchup's been vastly different. Like they played 3 times last spring. Or this spring. The first time was the first week of the season. Spartans beat them 28-0. Damn Damon, the defense was on fire. AJ was getting the backfield. Keenan was destroying them. The Bees were a mess. Nothing was going right. Second game was a little different. Lucas was quarterback for the Spartans until Dakota came in toward the end.
Right.
And the Bees had Houston at quarterback and the Venom defense. So you had a really oddity matchup of the quarterback of the West Virginia Venom playing on the Spartans, going against the Killer Bees defense with the West Virginia Venom's defensive personnel, including Pat Freedom and Johnny Cocho, the captain of the defense on Venom, and Pat Freedom, the best pass rusher on Venom. Tough game for Lucas. Spartans won that, though, 12-0. Got to the C's championship, but lost to AFN. And then, who could forget the comeback? 14-0 entering the fourth quarter. Bees had not scored a touchdown on the Spartans in 11 quarters of play that spring. And then, in a matter of only 3 drives, won the game en route to the championship. Tay Sosa and company, Lurie coming in, stepping up big. Got to give a shout out to that Killer Bees team. Those Misfit guys did a lot of great work for them in that game. This is going to be a different matchup this time. And I think what makes it intriguing to me is the fact that you're going to get a vastly different game than you did last season. And I think that's why for both teams, this game's going to be important. This is an underrated game, in my opinion. This whole first week is lit. And then Venom, Pure Chaos, that's a random game, but it's one of those, they're evenly enough matched that you can't really call a winner here. So I think that's going to be a game to watch. I look forward to that. Venom is coming into their second season. They went out and did great last season, I thought. Better than Green Machine. That was probably the best incarnation of the survivors. Venom was. Lucas was dominant quarterback, did a lot of great work. I look forward to seeing what Venom does. Pure Chaos, we already talked about them. They got better, but I think this game with Venom is a swing game. Both teams will go at it, and whoever wins this game is going to probably make a lot of noise this season. And whoever loses might have some issues along the way. Other matchups, looking at the rest of the season, that stand out to me.
I think I got a winner in that one.
Huh?
I think we got a winner in that one.
Yeah, we'll make a pick next week when we have Mr. Giles on there. Let's take a look at next week. after that. Prime time be on bye, but we get the Wolverines debut with the X Dogs and Misfits back to back.
God dang.
Yeah. Wolverines get the baptism and the fire and the 9-man with Pennsylvania's 9-man team, the original 9-man team of Southern PA, the X Dogs, the long-term standing granddaddy of this area. Against the Wolverines, who, they come from YFFL. A lot of them guys have never really played against the X Dogs. You don't really see much crossover between the 4-state New York before the last couple seasons. So this is going to be a really good introduction for them to the 9-man. Who better than to introduce them to 9-man than the X Dogs? But then the Misfits right after? That's the second game, the Misfits, because that's the second leg. That's going to be a grind to the finish. But it'll show where this team is.
You can tell Shippensburg looking like you.
We'll see how. I don't think it's all that. Come on. Do not push that conspiracy theory. Okay, Mr. Conspiracy Theory. Ross is the biggest hater.
All right.
All right.
There's conspiracy theories, and then there's looking at the schedule.
Come on, man. It happens. I played Brock. I don't want to hear it. I faced Miller Lite in my first game. I don't want to hear it. Happens. Baptism in fire. That's how you teach them.
Back. All right, here you go.
Oh, come on.
Fisted.
Come on,
Wolverines.
Ross.
First season.
Come on, Ross.
Fisted.
Ross. Jesus. You're a hater. Sorry, guys. The Wolverines jersey fell down too while that was happening, I guess. Here it is.
Look at that schedule. See.
This is a sloppy episode. Yeesh. Wolverines will be fine. Baptism in the fire, Ross. That's how we became the players we are today. Spartans Misfits 11-10. That's going to be an interesting game depending on what the Spartans would have. It's hard to tell what they're going to have. Like I said, that's going to depend on the first week. But we're going to move on down the list. Other games that stand out to me the rest of the season that I'm looking forward to. Looking down the list. Pure Chaos Killer Bees. We're going to get that game finally. The who made who game.
Yeah.
Who was the real A and B team of these two? They shared players. They shared a roadshow. Who was who? Who was the real A or B team between the Killer Bees and Pure Chaos? We're going to find out. We get Demons Outlaws, 4-State 4's rematch. Looking forward to that. I don't think we'll see, but I don't know. We'll get that in like a month. After that, bye week for Clash of York. I hope to see a lot of guys there from our league. I think that's going to be a good thing. If guys come out, hey, if you don't have a team for Clash of York, go look for one, guys. Or better yet, put your team in. Yeah, I think some of our teams locally should play Clash of York. Like, I'm being serious. I think, I know Prime Time will be there. I think X-Dog should make the trip. I really do. I know Matt and them don't get out much of tournaments, especially now that Hagerstown is no longer doing a tournament in the fall, and Ocean City is the only one they go to. But I really think they should try to go out to Clash of York. I think that'd be good for them. It's not that far of a drive. I think they'd be a little more competitive than they were in OC because they have the chance to get a lot more of the guys down there to York. It's a short ride home. Like, if they really want to, I really want to see the X-Dogs in Clash of York. Same for the Demons. I think the Demons should give it a shot. If you guys have it, September 17th is the deadline to register. Get on that. I think you hop into Clash of York. If you're not in there, what are you doing? It's 1 hour away from Shippensburg, hour and a half from here. But it's a local tournament, a lot of prize money. We're going to be there. I recommend it. That's going to be on that bye week on the 2nd of October. Looking forward to it. I think a lot of these teams that should jump in if they're not in already. We know Misfits are there. Depending on how Spartans and Bees look, I'd like to see them get in. Venom. I think Venom should give it a shot if they want, but I don't know. We'll see. It all depends because like guys mix and match. I think we'll see, if not a full team of some of these teams, some kind of smorgasbord of the guys together. You know how it goes. Yeah, I used the word smorgasbord in our episode. I just threw that out there. The week after that, you have X-Dogs and Spartans be on bye. Games will stand out to me on this one, however. You got Misfits Killer Bees, 2:25 p.m. Man, this is going to be interesting. You know, Killer Bees, they're going to want a shot at the Misfits because, honestly, you got to think about it. Do the Bees even win that championship by the Misfit players? And how much is that going to weigh on the Killer Bees? Rematch of the 2019 Fall Championship as well. Looking forward to it. Should be a good game. Other games that week, the next week after that, X-Dogs, Killer Bees. Rematch of the championship game last season. So you get a chance to see that one, October 16th. X-Dogs, Demons right after that, same day. That's going to be a good game, I feel like. That's going to be a really interesting matchup to see those two face off. Looking down the list, Misfits X-Dogs on October 23rd, rematch of the Washington County semifinals last season. We're going to see that. We're going to see games that were Washington County games last fall playing in KFFL this fall. Kind of a weird dynamic there. You're going to see Spartans, Chaos, Misfits, X-Dogs, all who were in county last fall mixing against each other, facing off each other this year in Keystone. Crazy to think that's happening. Like it's a whole different jump. But yet some of the core of what we've been doing the last year or even this year, like is coming into this season. And I think it's making for a lot of great competition. Primetime Wolverines, the York Bowl, same day, 11:10 a.m. I'm looking forward to that. The York Bowl. Really excited about that one. Going to be a battle between hometown teams. Going down the line, looking down to it. I guess Wolverines is more of a Hanover team because they play in Whiteville, Hanover, but we'll see. You never know what they're going to have. Team names are just a name sometimes. And it's good to have friends. It's always good to make friends. Primetime and Spartans, rematch of the game back in April. One of the greatest games we saw. That's going to be awesome on October 30th. Looking forward to that one. X-Dogs Chaos, that was a good game last year in County. Chaos will get the dub there. Look forward to that rematch. Should be a good one. Spartans Chaos had a really good game back in County back in this season. Here's an oddity, Ross. A game that was played in Washington County last season is a Keystone game this season, the same calendar year. Only 4 months apart, only 5 months apart. That's a weird oddity. We saw that in the same season, though, with No Mercy and Rampage playing against each other in both OFL Maple championships. We'll get to those things in a minute. Let's finish off the schedule look real quick. Going down the line, final week of the regular season, November 6th. That's going to be Rhode Island week, but I don't think those teams will be in Rhode Island. Prime time will play the Bees and Chaos, and then Venom plays the Wolverines. So you probably won't see those teams go to Rhode Island. So good for them to get some bump that week. Championship Saturday, rather, I believe is set for November 13th. Me and Keith Giles, like I said, we'll be doing media all season. Bless you, by the way, Ross. I should have said that like 10 minutes ago. I'm really excited about it. Oh, geez, damn. You all right?
They say if you sneeze 3 times in a row, good luck.
Is it? All right, good.
So I think all right.
Good. Maybe it'll make up for the bad luck earlier, me being done with the meeting microphone. Sheesh. I'm gonna edit that out. All right. So it'll be a good season in KFFL this year. We're gonna be there every Saturday. At least I will be.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do there.
Yeah, Mister, I'm gonna make week 1. Lies. Anyways. We're gonna have more in Keystone next week. Keith Giles will be back. He'll be feeling better. Hopefully I feel better. But should be a great year in the Keystone Flag Football League. Other news and notes along the way. I know OFFL and MAFL are set to kick off. We'll talk more on KFFL next week, by the way, when we got Keith back. So glad to give a little preview of what's to come this fall in the KFFL. MAFL, OFFL kicking off as well. MAFL will be the next day after Keystone, September 12th. We will be down there. We'll be covering the MAFL first week of the season. I have been looking into it. I don't know much so far. I have heard Rideout will be back to Maffle this season, so we'll have a chance to see them down there. Should be a good year down there in Maffle. I think a lot more teams will stay local on Sundays due to the NFL coming back with fans in the stands this fall. So it should be a very interesting, different dynamic, kind of an old familiar feeling for the Baltimore DC leagues. Owings Mills kicking off a week later on the 19th. I know they are talking about a lot of teams doing triple headers this year. Should be a lot of action. We're going to be moving around every Sunday. We were just in York about a few days ago. No games this weekend. We're taking off. We're dog sitting. We're relaxing. We're going to enjoy Labor Day. We're going to go out on Monday, have a great time. Really excited about everything that's going on this weekend coming up. Should be awesome. Really looking forward to it. Weekend after that, though, KFFL week 1, every Saturday, with the exception of Clash of York week, will be in York, PA that week for that tournament. And of course, we may be in Rhode Island for the 6th. If not, I might ride up for that. If not, we'll see. Kind of a little bit of a light week, kind of like a get everything in to close out the season week. But all season long, Joey Blaze, Ross Collins, Keith Giles will bring you the Keystone Flag Football League. It's going to be awesome. We'll be at Owings Mills starting the 19th for their week 1, Maffle for their week 1 on the 12th. We'll announce other dates as it goes along. We're not exclusive. We're not really locking ourselves down. My profile, I recently found out, says media director for Washington County, which I put on there as a joke like 4 years ago, just to be funny and to say media director. I had no official title. I was never an employee for Washington County. I was just there to do it for the hobby. I'm not affiliated with the league. I'm just here for fun. I'm Joey Blaze. He's Ross Collins. It's fall, y'all. Let's kick it off. Next week, we got 2 more shows for you. Blood Talk, Extra Yard with Keith Giles, KFFL, Maffle week 1. We'll see you then.